So they open up with Mia and Jacqueline going at it. Both of them are pulling out receipts. Jacqueline is telling Mia that she's unhinged. Mia's like, no, I don't think that's the right word to use for me, but I think it possibly is. So now they really pulling out paper receipts. Jacqueline pulled out a whole bunch of papers, printouts of text messages and things like that. Mia pulls out a box with a whole bunch of papers in it. So, come to find out, Mia was lying about a couple of things. Jacqueline was like, "No, you were not with my mother on Mother's Day, like you said." Mia does admit that she was not with Jacqueline's mother, like she said. She said she was on FaceTime with her for 2 hours. Okay, so yeah, Mia is definitely lying a whole lot over here. So now they talking about how Gordon, Mia's husband, was looking for her, and he had to contact Jacqueline to find out her whatever. Now Andy is like, Jacqueline, did you have sex with Gordon, who is Mia's husband? And Jacqueline is saying no, that she did not have sex with him. But if you saw what happened this season, then they Mia and Jacqueline kind of played around with the idea that possibly Jacqueline has slept with Gordon, Mia's husband, and that Mia knew about that or whatever. But now they kind of backpack pedaling and saying no. So Jacqueline is still defending herself, saying no, she didn't sleep with Gordon, and she did not sleep with Mia either. So a question was asked. A viewer asked, why did Mia out Jacqueline on national TV and in front of the ladies? If they were really friends, she would have went to her, aside instead of doing that. So Mia is saying that Jacqueline knew information about her that Mia feels that Jacqueline used against her. So okay, we didn't know Gordon recently had some health scare, or he is dealing with prostate cancer. So hopefully he's well. And so we didn't know that on the show, but Jacqueline knew that. And while they were in Miami, Jacqueline threw a dig at Mia, talking about she needs some D. That's why she was so, acting the way she was acting. Like, oh, she backed up. She needs to go get some good D. But Mia is saying like that was a dig at Gordon because of what he was going through in terms of the prostate situation. So that was affecting their sex life, and Jacqueline knew about that. Okay. So Jacqueline is talking about all the things that Mia has done to her that she should not have done to her if she was really being a good person to her. Mia is saying that she did have a lot going on and she was stressed and everything, and that is the reason why she came at Jacqueline the way that she came at with her. So now they talking about if Gordon or Mia paid for the Porsche for Jacqueline. Remember, they said Jacqueline and Mia said that Gordon bought the Porsche. So now Jacqueline pulled out more receipts, papers, literally, and she's saying that no, they did not help her. She's saying that Mia asked her to lie on camera, stating that Gordon and Mia bought Jacqueline the car. And Jacqueline is saying that didn't happen, but she did go along with the lie. So she pulled out the receipts and she said, this clearly shows that I did pay for my car with my own money. Then Jacqueline is also saying that she found out Mia is not the CEO of those businesses, that Gordon is really the CEO. Mia is like, no, that's lies, but we all really think that Mia is the liar. So Robin is asking, do y'all have any regrets of how things played out? How, or is there any way that y'all could reconcile and things can be mended? So both ladies are saying no, no. So Andy is like, well, Jacqueline, you made a few new friends on the show. Um, and that's good. But obviously, you have lost a friend with Mia, possibly. But you'll be okay. All right, Jacqueline's leaving the stage. Andy says, "Sorry, we have to end this without a resolution between the two of you. We're gonna take a break." Okay, as they go into camera and Jacqueline is leaving, Wendy said to Jacqueline, "Forward me those receipts that she got on Mia," and the ladies laughed. Okay, they showing while they on break. Sharice is in the back getting ready. She said normally she's nervous, but right now she is not nervous. She's ready. So she got like this bun up on her hair. Oh, okay. Once they took those pins out, I think it might look cute. A lot of makeup on her though. Oh man. But Sharice is beautiful. It's just just so much makeup. Okay, so she's ready. Oh. And the thing is with Sharice is, she's just gonna come on and be all about Karen. It's like that's the only thing that she has to talk about. So that's what's a little. But okay, so Sharice is out on the stage now. All right, you look beautiful. Okay, I like the blue that you bring in. All right, it's been 4 years since Sharice has blessed the stage for the reunion. So she hasn't been on the reunion since season 2. I like that haircut when you switch back. All right. Sharice is officially divorced from her husband. And remember, they were going through a long term divorce settlement. So it has been settled and it was 50-50 divided. And Sharice said that she's okay with that. Andy is asking Robin how they met and just how Sharice be having her back. So Robin said that her and Sharice met in 2002 when Sharice's husband was Juan's coach. Juan is Robin's husband. So Robin is also downplaying her relationship a little bit with Sharice. They are close, but she's saying that is not the only reason why Sharice is not on the stage. She's saying Sharice is friends with all the other ladies, and she points out except for Karen and Wendy. Wendy seemed to make a little face to that, so she didn't seem to like that. I don't. So okay, so now they talking about the accusations. There was a lot of accusations this season. It was just too many accusations, and a lot was just untrue, completely fabricated. So that's the problem. Stop with these completely unfabricated lies. Like that's what it is, just lies. It's not even rumors, just all the lies. So I think that was just too much. So now they going over the relationship between, or the friendship, or the lack of friendship between Karen and Sharice, and just how all of that played out. Because remember when they started, they were cordial, they were friends, but obviously things have went left between the two over the last couple of years. But Karen seems to be adamant she's good. She don't want to be friends with her. It seems to be Sharice that is pushing up on Karen. And I don't know, it's just because the show situation and all of that, whatever. But that's what it definitely seems to be, because Karen doesn't want to have any part with Sharice. Sharice even wanted to go to lunch with Karen on the while they were filming, and Karen was like, no. And then I could understand though that Sharice just went up behind and just started talking all this nonsense about Karen, talking about she does this and she sleeps with this man and she'll suck anybody's dick. Da, 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 da. Like, what are you doing? And then you talking about you want to go to lunch with this person. So a viewer asked that question to Karen just now about how come she felt like she could not go and have dinner with Sharice. Like, was the situation that bad? And Karen said that she doesn't want to discuss the situation with her mother, and she's at this point where that whole situation that has happened and how Sharice, kind of involved herself in that and coming to Karen's mother's funeral and then kind of trying to clout chase, saying like, well, I came. So Karen is saying no, she is not discussing her mother's funeral anymore. And I respect that. Leave that lady alone about her mother and all that other situation. So what does Andy go do? Right after Karen says she don't want to talk about mother, Andy turns to Sharice and says, so what about you going to go to her mother's funeral? I think they should leave Karen alone about her mother and her mother's funeral. Okay. So Karen has pulled out a nail file and is filing her nails while Sharice is talking. So Sharice is saying that she has lost several family members. I hope you're doing well. Sorry to hear about that, Sharice. She did mention that on the show. She said she lost a couple of family members, both her parents, some siblings, and things like that. So I hope you're doing well. Okay. Andy is clarifying that Sharice did not beg to come back on the show, that he or the production asked Sharice to come back on the show. And so Andy's like, no, Sharice did not come just to attack you, Karen. Karen is still filing her nails. See, Sharice is bringing up text messages from 2019 talking about Karen invited her to a party, a birthday party, and this is like, this is what I'm saying. So she invited you, and Karen is justifying why she invited her. She's like, well, I invited her because such and such asked if Sharice could come, and they were already on their way, whatever. So I just said, yeah. And Sharice is like, no, I was invited. And Karen is saying, yeah, because some other person asked if Sharice could come, and so Sharice said, yeah. But that was 2019. Listen, Karen don't want to be your friend. She don't want to talk to you. She don't have nothing to do with you, Sharice. You just got to respect that. You know, Sharice should have had another storyline or something that she was bringing to the table. And I don't like to use that storyline because that kind of sounds fake, but she should have had something else she was bringing to the table. Because all Sharice was doing was talking about Karen, a whole bunch of nonsense about Karen. So Sharice is calling Karen a liar about the whole party situation and being invited. All right, what they talking about? They going to Sharice. See, Andy is even saying that. He's saying that Sharice, it seems like you've come out with every accusation possible against Karen. And Sharice is saying that she was upset. So Karen is saying, let's discuss those rumors. And she's saying, you've never seen me do any of those things. And then Sharice is like, what rumors? She's done forgot the rumors that she said. And then Sharice is saying, like, because you were spewing out all these things that people were saying about me, so that's why I said something about you. See, all of this is just nonsense. And then they talking about rumors. See, this is they just talking about rumors. This about each other. And for the most part, I would say Karen didn't say, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think Karen said all that stuff about Sharice. That's Sharice just, how you talking about she a prostitute? I mean, come on now. We know, for the most part, like, Karen is not a prostitute. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what she be doing. But that's just not, no. All right, they asking Mia. Oh, so Karen is asking Mia, who is this person that I was with? And so Mia is saying that she was out of town with her family and somebody told her something about Karen. And obviously this is just more lies. See, this is the problem. It's like, why y'all even discussing this? Is lies. So Karen is saying none of this is true. And Mia's like, well, if it's not true, then okay. And Karen is like, well, you can't just say lies and just say, oh, okay. Wendy is like, Everybody says a rumor or a lie about somebody else, and they don't like when they say it about them, but they're quick to say it about another person. Me is saying, okay, Mia is saying, the situation about how she found out the information. Now remember, Karen brought Mia on to the show, and I'm not saying like anything. Candace is yawning over here. And I'm not saying anything. Just because somebody bring you on the show, that don't mean nothing. But again, Mia, she's just coming for Karen. She don't got no proof. She lied on Wendy. She been lying about herself, about her businesses. She just been lying. She lying about her best friend. She's just been lying. So now they're talking about where are these rumors coming from. So now everybody is saying, well, I get the information from the blogs, or I get the information from the people who call in and tell me about stuff. That's what they're all saying. So Karen is saying, well, I've also received information and phone calls about you. See, it's just become a whole bunch of rumor mill. Robin is saying all the rumors that people call about you. She's saying that to Karen. Karen's like, please, nobody's calling you. Karen is saying that she has protected Robin, and that Robin takes a dig at her every chance she gets. And I kind of think that's true. Because I think to a certain extent, I mean, don't get me wrong, Karen can be petty when she wants to be, but the other ladies, Giselle, don't get me, Giselle is like the worst. She is so manipulative. Oh my gosh. But Robin is a little like, yeah, Robin will take digs at Karen, definitely, real quick. Oh, so they talking about March 23rd. It's gonna be the ultimate girls trip. So they say it's gonna be on Peacock, the ultimate girls trip, March 23rd. All right, so now they talking about Juan and Robin getting married. Congratulations, Robin and Juan. Second time around is a charm. So I hope everything goes well. And they look so beautiful and everything too. So that was nice. So they showing about just kind of the discussion about everything with the wedding planning. And remember, at first the wedding was supposed to be away and they were going to do it with nobody else, but then they decided to obviously do it in Maryland with close friends and family. All right, so now they're going back to the beginning of the season when Robin had a family play outing for everybody and then wanted to not invite Wendy but ask Candace to bring Wendy's children. Come on now, Robin. This is what I'm saying. Like, for sure that it sounds so crazy that you gonna sit there and say, no, you can't come, but I would like you can bring your children with somebody else. Come on. That's ridiculous. And then when it's asked to her, would you do that? Would you send your children with another person that has never been with your children to go to another person's house that does not want you as the parent there? And Robin is sitting there all ditzy. And this is what I'm saying. I don't mean to call Robin ditzy, but this is you acting ditzy. She's like, maybe I will. Maybe I would. Maybe I would. Come on. You just got to say you didn't want her to be there. I mean, she said she didn't want her to be here there, but then don't try to invite her children. Just let it be. You either invite her, invite the children, or you don't. And if you don't understand and see that, then that can't really be explained to you, Robin. Like, that's just common sense. So they talking about the wedding, and then they go into, of course, Karen brings up the situation of Juan with another woman, allegedly, that looks like Robin. I mean, that looks like. So now they're discussing how Karen brought up and exposed the situation in which Juan was allegedly cheating or caught with a woman in a hotel. So Karen was stating this to the ladies on the Miami trip. And so then after that, Robin went and called Juan on the phone, and Juan was like, I'm not messing with these ladies. You better leave me alone. Da, 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 da. So Juan did not like that accusation. But apparently, we came to find out that that was some truth to that situation. So we see that. Okay. So now they showing Robin's wedding. Beautiful, beautiful, very beautiful. They were on the water. It was a beautiful wedding. Karen is throwing some shade. She's like, I can't say Karen was like on Robin a little too much about this wedding. For you not to care or like the lady, why are you asking so much and being so involved about her wedding? So Robin says she's really happy that they changed their mind and did not have their wedding in Jamaica the day after their brother-in-law, but instead they decided to do it in Maryland at home with their family and their close girlfriends. So you see how Giselle and Robin supposed to be so close, but Giselle was not invited to Robin's wedding. No, none of the ladies were. And don't get me wrong, I don't know if Robin was lying about if she was really going to do that wedding in Jamaica or not, but I think probably not. I think they were probably lying. I think they were probably slightly lying, but I think they just wanted to do something small and intimate and not have the cameras rolling with it. And I understand that. So they probably felt like they had to do it kind of offline. And so I think that was good. But I am surprised that if Giselle is such a good friend to you or best friend, I don't know if they label each other best friends, but they're supposed to be so close, then why would she not be invited to the wedding? I can understand the other ladies not being invited, but not Giselle. So Giselle says she did feel a little slighted. She said she thought that Robin was going to call her at the last minute and invite her. But then she said she had to get over it and then it's okay. So now they talking about what was put in to if they did a prenup or not. So, again, Robin did not put anything about any infidelity or cheating in the prenup. But they did put a stipulation about, kind of how they would split finances, which would be kind of 50-50. Robin said that Juan would not be able to take her businesses, but it seems like they would own 50-50 of the profits if they do divorce. So now, they went back to the infidelity clause being in the prenup, and Robin is like, no, it was not put in there. Remember, she had stated that to Juan on the show, possibly putting that in, and Juan wasn't trying to hear it then, and obviously he still wasn't trying to hear it because that didn't happen. But Robin is going to say that the reason why it's not put in is because she might mess up herself by doing that, implying that she might be the one to cheat, and then she would not get anything in divorce settlement if that was put into the prenup. Yeah, I think that was Juan saying, no, we're not putting that in there. We see what Juan was already doing right before the wedding. Juan was like, no. So now they asking, why was Karen so hard asking about Robin's wedding so much? So Karen said she was going hard on Robin about the wedding, but she was just saying, if you're going to do it already. So now they talking about how the woman that Juan was allegedly messing with looks like Karen. Then they showed that crazy sketch. Who made this sketch? Yeah. So they say, how did Karen find out about the girlfriend? So Karen said, again, the same way that all the ladies find out, because people give them information. Oh, they reverted back to that clip when Karen was like, unless you have phone numbers, pictures or this, don't come for me. But then Robin is saying, but you don't want nobody to come for you unless they have receipts, but yeah, you coming for me. But some of that seems to be true. So, oh, okay, so maybe, so Andy is asking Robin if she went home and asked Juan about the lookalike, Karen lookalike. And so Robin said no. She says, Juan is out of the show. He doesn't want to, well, he's not out of the show, but he doesn't want anything to have to do with the show. So apparently that's not the same person. So that what Karen was talking about, supposedly Juan was seen walking down in Georgetown with a blonde woman on his arm. But obviously we were looking like, yeah, it's probably not true. But then we did hear about the situation with the hotel, so who knows? So they talk about they talk about, yes, this is when Karen, when this is when Robin decides to throw this activity day, invite all the families and the children, and not invite Wendy, but says that Candace can bring Wendy's children. So of course Wendy, thank goodness Wendy, she said no. She said no, that sounds crazy. Of course. So Karen said, well, she's not the type of person to sit there and argue with somebody and then turn around the next week and be like, hey girl, what you doing? That's exactly what y'all be doing on the show. I don't know what you think you be doing. That's exactly what y'all be doing. Y'all argue, fight, and then go hang out. I'm not saying to be fake, but that is what they be doing. So Dr. Wendy is explaining to Karen, who seems to not be understanding. Karen is not understanding. Karen is Robin is like, I don't have anything against your children. I don't have anything against your children. It's not about that. You are completely missing the point, Robin. So now they going to Juan Dixon in the sexual allegations. Not that Juan has them against him, but there was a situation that happened with some of the players on the team. So he's a basketball coach. And supposedly there were allegations of someone, and then Juan was like the superior, so it was about the way it was he handled the situation. So Robin is saying that Juan did not do anything wrong, and he handled the situation correctly, and it is the way that Juan handled it is the way that she would like it to be handled. But the only thing is, Robin, how do you really know what happened? How do you only know what your husband would tell you? You were not there. You don't know what Juan did or did not do, or what that other person did or did not do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad she's defending her man and everything, but she's just completely like stating facts, like she knows what happened, and it's just a little doubtful that she really knows all the way, because she only knows what her husband is telling her. And she's saying, that Juan was used as clickbait. And I could, possibly see that. Him being used as clickbait. So hopefully that situation gets taken care of. All right, they saying bye to Charisse. Karen's happy about that. Charisse said that all the ladies look beautiful. Charisse is strutting off the stage. She seems to be in good spirits though, so that's good. All right, the men are coming in. So they showing Chris, that's Candace's husband, and Eddie, that's Dr. Wendy's husband. So the guys are hanging out. Oh, Gordon just stepped in. Gordon is Mia's husband. So the guys are just, in the back talking, a little chit-chatting. Eddie is asking Chris if he's upset or anything. Chris said his intent is just to go out there and talk. But he said if somebody says some dumb shit, that he don't know. Oh, Chris said, I got smoke for everybody who wants it. Chris said, I'm ready. I'm coming in. Guns blazing. He is not playing. He was very pet peeved about that situation, the accusations. All right. So now the guys are coming out. The women are getting some touch ups on the makeup. All right. 10 seconds. Getting ready to come back in. The husbands are on the stage. Oh, there's Ray. Andy is saying he loves how Ray stands behind Karen so much. And he asked him, are you a Ladam? And he said, yes. Obviously, I am. Yes, Ray is. So now he turns to Happy Eddie. Yes, Dr. Wendy, your husband is happy. Mm-hmm. Yes, keep him that way. So now they turn to Robin. Where's your new husband? Robin said he's at work. Introducing Gordon. Andy said, should I call you Daddy G? Yeah, Gordon said you could call me a couple of different names. All right. Turn to Chris. Chris is like, I'm here. You see, he's ready. He's ready. Giselle sitting there ready too, because she knows she about to get it. Andy asked Chris how he feels. He said he's fine. He said that's a good feeling and that's what he wants to go with. Okay, they turned into Wendy and Eddie and saying they are happy the way that they handled the Happy Eddie allegation. So that is the allegation that Candace's friend made about Eddie, saying, insinuating that he was kind of flirting or coming on to her or the ladies because he was being friendly and smiling. Like, because a man smiles at you, that means the man is trying to come on to you. Come on now. That lady was desperate. So Eddie said, he's just cool. He said he takes his family serious and that's about it, and he said he's not taking all that other stuff serious and he's pretty a laid back guy. So that's why he's always smiling and cool. Good. Oh, so now a viewer named Harper has asked Eddie, who is bankrolling Wendy's business adventures. So Eddie said, it's both of them, but it's mostly him. He did say, literally, he said Wendy be digging in his pockets. Okay, so now they switched to Gordon. Andy is asking Gordon, Mia's husband, how he dealt with the health scare of Mia's health scare. And you could tell like he's visibly emotional, visibly affected by it. And he said it. He said it was very hard for him. Also though, like he was going through his own health crisis about the prostate cancer. So, well wishes to, I hope everything is well with that. So he's talking about, the possibility that he could have lost Mia or whatever and the kids, and he's tearing up and everything. So hopefully both of them are right and those kids will have both their parents. So he's crying. He's visibly, but we're not going to go comment about. So Andy is bringing up the situation about if Gordon and Jacqueline ever had a sexual relationship. And Gordon said no. They said, Gordon, have you had a sexual relationship with any of Mia's friends? He said no. See, now they backpedaling. This is what happens. Because throughout this season and the season before probably, they alluded to, both of them, alluded to kind of messing with other people, having open relationships, Mia and Gordon. Okay? And they really did that a lot this season 2, especially with Jacqueline when they was talking about Peter and his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or whatever, right? So kind of they were bringing that into the situation so much, and then the some of the girls obviously were feeding on it and running with it, but now they both backpedaling. No, I never slept with nobody. He said he played around, touched the girl, but there was no penetration. All right, so fine, but let me tell you, stop trying to allude to all of that, and then when it comes to like stating facts and stuff, then it's like no. So it's like, were you just doing that just for a tagline or something? So now they go to Chris and Giselle, that situation in which Giselle is saying that Chris made her feel uncomfortable because last season Chris said, "Can I speak to you?" And then Giselle said yes. Then Chris supposedly said, "Can we go back to your room and speak?" And when I say room, this is on the production. So this is not a bedroom. This is a production room in the back. And Giselle said, she said, sure, they went back. Giselle said she was under the impression that there were going to be her people in the room, right? But when they got to the room, her people were not in the room. But Chris still came in the room. Giselle went in the room. The door was closed. And Giselle said after a couple of minutes or whatever, she felt uncomfortable. But Giselle did state last episode that Chris did not do anything or say anything specific, but it was just kind of the situation of being alone with a married man in a room. Okay, so on one part, I'm not discounting and saying that Giselle didn't feel uncomfortable or anything like that. To a certain extent, it seems like possibly it's just the way that it all played out, the way that she said it, the things that she also said, saying that Chris was a sneaky link and that he was trying to see if he could get it or not. Like, that's a whole different situation. You went from being in a room with somebody stating that person did not do or say anything to you, but yet you talking about a sneaky link, that if you were, was gonna give it to them, that they would take it, or they were trying to see if they could get it. Like, that shows what you were really thinking about and staying behind all of that. So that says a lot. It just, yeah. So Chris is mad. Chris is really upset. He's saying, like, you made me miss out on money with my businesses. You messing up my business. He's like, I got to answer to my family and stuff, And Chris is like, you still have not told me what I did. So he is yelling. He's like, spit it out. And Giselle is like, well, you're not going to be cussing at me and I'm going to talk to you. But he didn't actually curse at her, I don't think. But then Candace did come back and curse at her and told her that she is a liar with some curse words. So Giselle is explaining her situation. She felt that Chris had a lot to drink and that she felt uncomfortable in the room. Giselle is saying, you put us in the situation, and that's what he did. So, I mean, Giselle's entitled to have her feelings, and we're not discounting that she might have felt uncomfortable. But you feeling uncomfortable, you went into the room with the man when you saw nobody else was in the room. So she's saying she thought that there were people in the room. That's why she said yes. But when you saw that there were no people in the room, why did you still go into the room if you thought that was going to make you feel uncomfortable? Or if you did feel uncomfortable, then you asked him to leave. He left, and that was it. So now you're trying to make him seem like a predator, though, or that he was trying to do something, and that's the difference. When it really just seemed like a genuine situation where he was trying to discuss something with her, and then obviously they wanted to discuss in private, so they went to the room. He didn't do or say anything, but then she alluded to that, and so that becomes the issue. So they going back and forth. Now Andy is getting into it, and he's saying that there is a difference between saying he made me feel some way versus he did something to me. And so Andy is saying, like, we are playing semantics because we need to determine which one it is, because it is a difference. So now they going with the door open or door not open. So the door was not open, but the lock was unlocked. So now they talking about how she was dressed. So supposedly she had her clothes on, a dress, but she had a robe over it possibly. But see, I'm not understanding, when did that robe get put on? Because if they met outside and then walked into the room, at what point did she put that robe on or whatever? So Giselle just say that when she asked him to leave or whatever, he immediately left or nothing, whatever. Oh, Giselle was like, and I thought your wife, as my friend at the time, should know about the situation. So Chris is like, so why did you wait 5 months or 6 months when the cameras were rolling? So again, she going back to Ashley. But you just said that you felt like your friend should know. So if you felt like your friend should know, you should have told her when it happened. So yeah, see, again, now they going to Ashley and with Chris in the DM. So Chris had DM'd Ashley at 2:42 a.m. saying you should have came to the W tonight. Okay, Chris was working at the W at that time, but Ashley didn't know that. So Ashley was thinking like, that's something. And so it started saying, I understand that if a married man DMs you at 2 something in the morning talking about you should have came to this club, and depending on what your relationship was before, whatever, you could see that. But he was working there, so maybe he was trying to get business. That's what you do when you work at a lounge, a club, whatever, restaurant. You try to get people to come in. But I'm not speaking for Chris. I don't know what he was doing. But that's just kind of how it seems. Based on just what he said, you're like, oh, yeah, I should have came to the W, to hang out. He's promoting or whatever, whatever. So Chris is saying like it's okay to say that is he saying to Giselle like it's okay that you saying you felt uncomfortable, but don't say that I did something. Just say like the situation was uncomfortable. So Andy is getting in and trying to kind of explain to Giselle the difference between the situation made her feel uncomfortable versus Chris did or said something. So now Giselle is saying, I'm apologizing for calling you a sneaky link. And she said when she saw it back, she shouldn't have said that. See, why did it take for you to see it back? You should have known what you said, but you just lying and just saying stuff. So probably didn't remember that you said that. So he's talking about Ashley at Candace release party, the last episode, when Ashley confronted Chris, but Chris, remember, didn't really want to speak to her, but Ashley still went over there and spoke to him. And so the way he reacted, he's discussing that. He's saying like, I reacted that way because I really didn't want to speak to you. I didn't want to mess up Candace's moment or anything like that. And now they talking about how after that he did DM Giselle and say, if I made you feel uncomfortable, then I apologize. But the thing is that text went out, that DM went out before Candace and Chris saw what happened throughout the season. So they didn't see it air yet. So now Candace is going in. She had been quiet for a while, but Candace is going in now, and she is talking about how Giselle is privileged. She's talking about her, because of her skin color, she's privileged about what she's saying, and she needs to take consideration into that. Giselle didn't really respond to that. Ashley is responding saying you taking it too far. So Candace is saying that Giselle, because of Giselle's color, like her accusations hold a lot of weight, more weight than somebody with a different color. So literally Giselle is not saying anything. So Wendy chimes in and she says, can I say something? And she's like, we just talked about the colorism situation. And she's saying to Candace, I really love you. You my girl. I got your back forever, whatever, whatever. But I want you to realize what you're saying about Giselle and, the colorism and stuff like that, especially, in this moment and what that might apply. So Candace is saying, I understand what I said and what that implied, but she is also saying to Wendy, I receive what you're saying. So Ashley is like, so our conversation about colorism meant nothing. Ashley, mm. And Candace is like, no, our conversation meant something. But she is talking about again the accusations, and she's talking about colorism, and she is saying that she was trying to make a point, and she did do it in an inflammatory way, but she says she's not apologizing, she's not sorry. She's saying she's been really hurt by what Giselle has done to her and the way that she has chosen to conduct herself this the season, and just towards her family. So now Ashley is like, saying, and then like, you shouldn't have done that or whatever. And Candace is like, please, we can go over so many things that you've done, Ashley. So please. So Chris said that he accepted Giselle's apology. That was a weak apology. That was not an apology. And Candace says she is not accepting that apology. That was not a real apology. Please. The only reason why she said that because it was convenient. That changed the situation. If you call him a sneaky link, that means he would have had to do something somewhat, right? But we know he didn't really do nothing. So therefore, you kind of see that. So all right, they said it's time for Potomac After Dark. They said, all right, let's switch up from all the drama and get into some fun. So now they go back to the clip of Miami. MIA. Okay. They showing the nipples out. So Karen's nipple had fell out. She calls her what her nipple, her breast, tiff. So Karen has an issue with people calling her breasts titties. She said titties are for dogs. Dogs have titties. She does not have titties. Okay. So she would like her breastises to be called breasts. Okay, so Wendy is saying that Mia came up and slithered next to her and said, I just want to eat your box. Okay, so what I think all that was about, that was Mia using sex to make up with Wendy and to take all that negative stuff, right? So Mia got a lot of backlash for what she did to Wendy throwing in the drink. And instead of like really, really being able to come and apologize and make, she went and, kind of wanted to allude to sexual stuff. And see, that's what Mia does. She alludes to all this sexual stuff with people. So they talked about also, they went to the strip club. They went out, they saw the strippers and, had all fun, whatever. So Ray said, no more Miami. He said, oh, wow, they was wilding out there. Oh, no, they just joking, no. So now somebody's asking, one of the viewers said, why Karen doesn't like her breasts to be called titties. So, again, so that is what Karen's saying. She don't want her breasts to be called titties. So now they're talking about Robin's bachelorette party. And he's like, I've never seen you so drunk. And Robin's like, yeah, you have seen me drunk. So then they play some clips back from, prior years when you see Robin taking shots back to back and, getting a little tipsy or whatever. For the most part, Robin doesn't like get sloppy drunk from what we see. But she probably gets like drunk inside. She's probably like a quiet drunk. So we don't realize how drunk she's getting. It seems. But yeah, she's like, no, I've been drunk before. Andy's like, oh, okay, maybe I forgot, I didn't realize. Okay, so now they go into the situation about the box snatching. So Wendy is like, let the record reflect that they were all in the bathroom. Candace showed her coochie first. Candace is like, did I? They're like, yes, you did. Then Ashley showed her coochie. Then Mia showed her coochie. then Wendy show her coochie. What y'all in the bathroom doing, showing each other coochie? Like, I don't know what y'all was doing. Like, that is crazy. I don't know. This sounds a little like, what are y'all doing? And then Wendy is saying that the lady said that Wendy had the prettiest looking coochie. What? I don't know what these ladies were doing. So Gordon's like, did production see the coochies too? All the ladies are like, no, like most likely not. No, I think they were in the bathroom, so none of the cameras were rolling or anything. But I'm surprised they don't have the audio footage. I don't know if the cameras were there or not. So now they go into Ray and Karen about all of the rumors about Karen this season. Yeah, there was just so much, unnecessary rumors, and it seems like Mia's a lot too, just lying, and then Sharice, and So Ray is saying he is disappointed with the ladies, with all of the ladies. I feel you, Ray. Yes. He's saying Karen normally doesn't get in the fray like she did, but she couldn't help it but just to react. So Karen has said, wait, hold on, Ray. He asked you specifically how you feel about the cheating allegations. And Ray is like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm not paying that no attention. So Andy is like, did you see this photo that is allegedly Karen and this blue-eyed man or whatever? And Ray said to Andy, did you see the photo? And Andy said it's only from the back. So he's not sure who was in the picture. Karen is saying they didn't even show me the picture, so I don't even know who it is. Karen is saying she still has not seen this picture. And that's another thing. The picture is of a person at a bar outside with other people and stuff like that, not doing anything, just... But Karen has not seen the picture. But now they bringing up the fact that Karen obviously brought up the situation with Juan. So Karen said, you want me to show the picture of the Juan allegation situation? And then Ray says, like, no, don't do that. So Karen said, no, she's not going to do that. So now Robin brings up the situation in which Karen has said that in the past, one time Juan said he gave Karen a hug and he pulled her in really, really tight. And he said, I want you to be the number 3 person in our relationship. So supposedly they had some discussion, all of them, whatever. And I guess they was talking about, like, if you would add somebody into your relationship or not, like in a sexual manner. And then supposedly Juan came up to Karen and gave her a hug and squeezed her real tight and stated he wanted her to be the 3rd person in the relationship. So Karen is like, are you insinuating that my husband sexually harassed you? Yes, husband, because now they married. When that happened, they weren't married though. And Karen is saying, did Juan touch me? Yes, he did touch me, but he did not sexually assault me. Okay. So Ray is saying that after that situation in which Juan made her feel uncomfortable, Karen did speak to Ray about it, and Ray talked to her and, calmed her down or whatever, and talked her through about it. So that's, I guess, why she didn't make a big deal about it. So Karen is saying, clarifying, I am not accusing Juan of sexual assault, but he does need to keep his hands off ladies. I don't know. All right, they saying bye to the guys. That was quick with the guys, but I guess there really wasn't that much. Candace is over here giving her husband gang dabs over there. They got friendship handshakes. So I guess they had to get through that whole Giselle situation. All right. So they said they're going to end it with some music. So they're going to put on this Candace song, Insecure. So the ladies get up and start dancing a little bit. Normally they do shots and drinks, but I guess not. Okay, so they getting up dancing. All right, the ladies are a little dancing. Of course, Candace is hype because it's her song. She over dancing and singing. The other ladies are dancing a little bit, except for Giselle. Giselle is a hater. Giselle's like, I'm not gonna dance to this, even if it does sound good. So she's not dancing. But even Andy, everything. All right, Giselle claps her hand. So all right, good for Candace. All right, but it's not over yet. They about to go to the live with Andy 2 weeks later. Okay, all about the tea was dishing that Juan cheated on Robin. So now they showing unshown footage from Watch What Happens Live with Andy. So Andy is saying, like, originally you were booked to come on tonight to Watch What Happens Live with Andy to celebrate your marriage situation, but obviously some other information has come out, some other tea. The tea about Juan being in the hotel with this woman. So Andy is like, can you clarify why you believe so? Yeah, Robin is saying that this woman was, communicating with Juan, but then she was going to come to the city. So supposedly she's like from Canada or another place. And so she comes into town and she loses her wallet. So she asks Juan to come to the hotel to pay. Yo, the other housewife from New York, she over there sipping. She like, no comment. I'm just gonna sip. She's a lawyer too. She like, oh girl, if you need to go to court, I got you. But Robin's like, no, I believe you. Robin is saying she believes it. So Robin is saying that she believes that Juan was just kind of, talking to this girl. The girl was coming into town to see another guy, possibly from Baltimore or something. But then she gets to the hotel. She does not have her wallet because she lost it. So then she asks Juan, and not the guy that she came to town to see, to come to the hotel to pay for the hotel. So that is the reason why there is a hotel receipt with Juan's credit card on it. Okay. And so Karen believes that Juan just left that hotel right after he paid and didn't go to the room and nothing happened. Of course, I don't know. We don't know what really happened. But Robin, gosh, she's saying this happened in November 2021. And they started filming in March 2022. So since they had already dealt with it, she wasn't going to bring it up on the show. She said she felt like because they had dealt with it, they were even stronger going into season 7. And Andy's like, did that have anything to do with kind of is stalling the marriage and everything? Because remember, it kind of kept getting delayed, and then they said COVID, but then they said nah, whatever. So she's saying, yeah, maybe a little bit. She's saying they didn't really break up, but maybe a little bit. So Andy is like, listen, you on a reality show and infidelity is the topic of the season, right? That's what's being thrown around, all these accusations, and here you have this situation and you stay silent for the season and don't bring it on. And Robin is like, well, I was waiting for Karen to bring it on. So don't get me wrong, I don't expect to a certain extent that Robin is just going to, or any of the ladies are just going to 100% air all of their bad business. No, that's not what you're going to do. But it's just kind of the ways that they be doing it, and then she wants to air it on Patreon, and then she want to talk about other people. The way that Robin thinks and acts sometimes is just, I see why people be questioning some of the things that she be doing or whatever. But so now they talking about Candace being mad with Robin about Robin not bringing this situation up because of what Chris was going through. Now, this is one thing I do agree with Robin on. That had nothing to do with her. And Robin did say that she did not all the way, not that she didn't believe, but she didn't agree with Giselle in the Chris situation. And it's true. What does the situation that Robin is going through have to do with Karen, with Candace and Chris? It's true. That has nothing to do with her. She didn't accuse Chris of anything. So what does that have to do with her? No. So I agree with Robin in that situation. She said, you can't put me in what Chris went through. That's two different situations. So now Robin is like, if it had happened while we were filming, I would have talked about it. Andy's like, well, does it have to have taken place while you're filming in order for you to talk about it? And Robin is saying like, well, to a certain extent, yes, especially because it had already been dealt with and it was not an issue. And Andy's like, but still, no. What about all the speculation on why y'all wasn't getting married? You know, like you had plenty of time to kind of bring it up and state possibly. Maybe if you didn't state all the facts, but just state, you know, like something's happened. We going through something. That's why we're, you know, kind of delaying the marriage and not just COVID. The lawyer is over there making her faces. She like, oh no, girl. Oh no. You better run. So Robin is defending her man, saying that, you know, it's hard for the men to be on the show, whatever. So she says she's not gonna put her man on blast. And like I said, I understand. You're not gonna go put your life or your man on blast. Like, yeah. But now Andy's talking about how Robin brought up the picture about Karen. And then he's saying, like, but you didn't think about how that was going to affect Ray. And then Robin, see, this is how you be like a little, like, how could you not understand how you talking about Karen cheating is going to affect Ray? And she's like, well, I wasn't talking about Ray. I was talking about Karen. But you were talking about Karen cheating on her husband. So Andy's trying to explain that to Robin, but Robin didn't fully get that. So Robin's taking a drink a little bit, but that's it. So she's saying, Andy's like, do you find you have to defend Juan a lot? And Robin is like, well, it's not that I have to defend Juan a lot, but I have to defend us as a relationship, kind of like the way we do things and how we do things. And I think that's so, you know, she does have to defend them a lot just because of that whole situation when they were divorced and still living together and then, you know, still getting married and everything. So we see that. All right. So that's it for this fashion tea. So tea to love, health, and no rumors.